How would you spend 24 hours if you had a 9 to 5, but were looking to eventually go full time into your own business? Time starts.
So yeah, I'll jump in. So I never had a 9 to 5 per se. I've had a 3 to midnight. And so I know for me, when I worked 3 to midnight, my life revolved around real estate. I stopped going out. I stopped going on dates. I stopped hanging out with my friends. I sacrificed everything for what I said that I wanted. And so, in the capacity of being able to do that, I would go to sleep. As soon as I got off work, I'd get home, I'd go to sleep. I'd wake up 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. At the time, there was no YouTube videos, there was no free content all over IG, free Facebook groups. I would get up and I would get on Bigger Pockets and I would learn. I would just read and I would learn. And I did that and did that until it was time to go implement. And then I would implement and I would be late for work every single day. I'd leave at 2:42 every day so I could get to work at 3:05 before I got a tardy on my attendance sheet to get to work. And I started doing deals and I got the F out the building. And now I get to hang out with these guys all the time.
There you go. There you go. All right, let's go to Jimmy. What do you think?
I would just accept, like most jobs, like you got to work 8 hours. You got still another good 4 working hours. And so you just discipline yourself to work 4 hours on whatever your side hustle is. It's not that hard. And I know you could be like, oh, I got the wife and kids. Well, like my kids are like 11 and under. They go to bed at 8. So you can still hop on and stay up till midnight. And then just remember, sleep's a crutch. Like if you really want to do this, like you just won't sleep and it's not that big a deal. Like you won't die. So the short answer is just accept that you're going to work 4 hours a day. Like I was like CJ, I was in medical sales. So I was in surgeries and I always would keep my hair really long so I could have wireless headphones in the hairnet and I'd be listening to podcasts and audiobooks while I'm supposed to be paying attention to surgeries. But like that's how bored I was in corporate and that's how much I wanted it. So like, I mean, CJ, wouldn't you agree? Like if you want it, it's so easy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like for me, man, like I used to wake up crying. Like I wanted it that bad. And so when you really want something that bad and you mean it, you just go after it relentlessly and you're willing to sacrifice to get it.
But like if you expect it to be like Fred Flintstone, like you hear the bell ring and you slide down the dinosaur and then you're just going to like play PlayStation the rest of the night, like won't happen.
Exactly.
Let's go over to Steve. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I would say if you're working at 9 to 5, you got 2 different times that you can work, right? Like you don't have to wake up at 7 or 7:30. You can wake up at 5, 4:30, or 4, right? That's an option. So, The Miracle Morning is one of the best books, I think, for, the morning habits. So waking up earlier, you got time there. After work, right? When you're done at 5, get to work. Actually go prospect, go market, go do stuff. Now, one of the biggest things I see is when people are early parts is they're spending all this time learning, consuming content, right? And as a content provider, creator, like this might sound crazy, but you should limit your learning to no more than 30 minutes a day. I think that there are times, right, where you're constantly learning, constantly preparing and this and that. You just got to go do. Go make a mess. Go
But Steve,
screw
if I do that, I won't be able to do my post where I read 100 books in a year.
Well, you'll still get to write it. Like we learned from Jimmy earlier, you don't have to actually read it. You just write it. So anyway, you don't have to be constantly learning, right? Just half an hour a day at most. The rest of your time going and applying, doing, executing what you're learning, because there's things that you think you know, and you go do it and you realize what you knew was completely wrong. And the only way to get better is actually go execute.
Okay. Leon G. Barnes, bring us home.
We got to teach the format of this show to everyone again. It's not back and forth until the end. Give me my 45 seconds back. So if I'm a 9 to 5er and I've got a lot of members of our community that started this way, that are all grossing $1 million plus a year, because they started out on their lunch hours making cold calls. Right after they got off, on the way home, they made another 10, 15 calls on the way home, while at night watching YouTube and all the free resources to make me super dangerous, that I become one of Steve's 100 millionaires. So the resources that are available today, there's a ton that are available to you. It's on you. I don't allow my kids to say the word can't for to it. The time available after those 8 hours. One little side hack, though, I would tell you that if you're someone that's sitting on the couch eating Cheetos right now, I would look into being an Uber driver and drive for dollars while I'm making money. It's your real estate potential portfolio and or getting it into wholesaling, because you're driving all day. You can be.
Let me add other things here, right? You don't need more than 6 hours of sleep. Maybe you don't need more than 5 hours of sleep while you're hustling and grinding, right? So a day, I just fast. You don't need to eat more than once a day. Once a day, you don't need to eat as much as you think you need to eat. You don't need to sleep as much as you need to sleep. If you really want it, right? The question is not about what you want. The question really is, what price are you willing to pay to get what you want? So just think about that.
Shout out to the vegans. No, one thing I'll say too, I think people have to understand this isn't a fitted in thing. Like real estate investing, like this is a sacrifice career in many, many ways. And every day, so when we have this 24 hours a day, work an 8-hour shift. Hey, I got time with my family. Hey, I got time with my spouse. I got to watch Netflix. I got to do this. I got to do that. They're just trying to figure out how to fit it in, right? Hey, when can I fit some time in the cold call? When can I fit some time in the text? When can I fit some time in the drive for this? And the reality of it is, at the end of the day, it's something that you got to integrate fully into what you have. When you have systems, the team in place, that's how you really make it work.
Yeah, I would say.
And then the other thing is like what adds fuel to your fire is active income. So I looked at my corporate job as like, dude, this is paying for my dream job. So I started working harder corporately because it was fueling all I was doing on the side. So whatever, sleep less, and then it's like Chris said and Steve said, it's 4 hours a day. Like you can prioritize that. You can get.
I said the other day, I thought this was great, right? There's nothing more expensive if you're trying to become an entrepreneur than a gaming system. The PlayStation. It's nothing more expensive than the gaming system, and the output right behind that, Netflix or whatever TV you're watching.
My favorite boss of all time when I was in the corporate world, when I would tell him that I didn't have time for something, his response was always, time for you. So if real estate is important, you find the time, you make the time. If playing PlayStation is important to you, real estate is important, find the time. Lunch breaks, after hours, after you put down your kids. You personally have talked to millionaires that started hustling this way after their W-2 job was over and in between.
I think this question was a reminder of the program and its value truly. Free game, everyone. Free game. If you are in the chat, this is free game. We do have a comment from the Giving Flowers. He said, I do follow-ups from the excavator every day. So he's putting it in motion, just kind of how you guys were speaking. So, amazing question.
Hey, shout out to him.
Yeah, man.
I'm sure it's fun. I'm sure it breaks up the day.
When this is another part of this as well, what Weasel just said about listening to what the professionals are telling you. Steve, your camera's going a little crazy there.
I know, it's rolling its eyes.
It's totally rolling its eyes. Listen to what the mentors and the professionals tell you. Like I have a good friend that CJ's working with. I said, no matter what, just listen to what CJ tells you to do. Just do what he says and you'll be successful. Get out of the way get out of your own way. Just do what CJ tells you.
You think about that, CJ?
I think it's highly accurate.
Steve, was your camera guy like doing a follow-up or cold calling right there?
Maybe he's working on
the
the job.
Camera guy side hustling?
He might be side hustling. I'll have to talk to him.
To Leon's point real fast, it's funny, I've had thousands and thousands of students, and here's what I've realized. It's a distinct separation between who has success and who doesn't. The ones that come in and take the information and then put the play in motion as it's taught and presented have success. The ones who don't, they struggle to find out the fact that that's all that they need to do. And it's not just me, it's anybody credible that has a system that functions and works. That's how I've gotten to where I've gotten. That's how I got a 2 Comma Club award. I bought a course. I followed exactly what it told me to do in the course, and it worked. Right. And so you have to get dedicated to a process to get a result. Too many people are creating multiple processes to try to get one desired result.
Yeah, I mean, I think to that point, one challenge that I think a lot of entrepreneurs have is they'll consume the content and then they got to add their own spin to it, right? Stop. Stop adding your spin, right? Just master what you've learned, and then after you've mastered it, then you can add your spin to it.
It's no different in business and in sports. As a former assistant high school basketball coach, a kid would tell me, "Look, coach, I'm really good at this, but that's not what I asked you to do. I asked you to do this because I saw the opportunity for you to be better with this particular move, play, what have you." But that's how most people, human beings, are in general, whether it's sports or business. I'm going to show you what I can do versus just follow the steps that are given to you for people that have proven that they can be successful with that process. That's the key part, though. Follow people that have had success, not necessarily those that have not, or
they're a week.
Yeah.
Well, and then taking the time to post about it. It's one thing to read a book a week, and then it's another thing to be a fart sniffer posting about it. Like, that's the absolute worst.
Hashtag fart sniffers in the chat, please. Run it up.
All your heavy readers in your audience right now are canceling us, Steve.
That's right. They're probably associated with the vegans.
There's some new hashtags created. The most famous one is "Don't be a Richard." You got at least 2 more from this.
Oh yeah, for sure. We got more T-shirts we can make now, for sure. The voting closed with CJ just edging Steve on that one. So the champ this week, the champ with 4 points. He missed the first round. He put you.
Honestly,
notice.
CJ, I'm new here. Like, you created some value, but not winning by 3 points. Like, let's be honest. What's he doing to rig the game?
Hey, Jimmy, first and foremost, man, I appreciate that. Welcome to the show. All right. Number 2, you'll learn pretty soon. I haven't met you before, man. It's great to meet you, but you'll learn pretty soon. You'll learn pretty soon. There's a couple new big dogs around, bro. That's what you'll figure out. Right? We'll figure it out soon.
He's just acting like we all just got into prison, and he's just representing, just puffing his chest over here.
Man. Sometimes there's a new dog on the yard, man. That's just how it goes, man.